part of that
Mhm.
sort of middle class system, really, that's enjoyed various privileges. So, that's, so we're having this conversation, sort of crossing that bridge and where it goes. I just wanted to make reference to our conversation just prior to when we started recording. We talked about today being Eid.
Yes.
And you showed me your henna, your
Yeah.
henna hands. So yeah, which is, and I wanted to ask you, because I've just saw somebody else make reference to Eid on some feed that I had, and I actually don't know what Eid is. So I thought I'm going to save that to ask you that question now on the video. So it's obviously, is it some sort of festival, Sadila? What is
So
Eid?
it's the celebration the Muslims have.
Yeah,
So they have two Eids. So there's the Eid that is today. So that is to celebrate the end of Ramadan. So that is where people have
right.
been fasting for the last month.
Okay. I'm aware of
Um,
Ramadan, absolutely, but I
uh,
didn't know of Eid. So Eid is the end of Ramadan.
yeah, so we celebrate the end of Ramadan. And then there'll be another one in about 10 weeks, or yeah, about two and a
Oh,
half months, and that will be to celebrate the end of pilgrimage. So that's when a lot of people from around the world will go to Mecca and make
yes.
a pilgrimage to Mecca.
Yeah.
And then there'll be Eid to celebrate the end of the pilgrimage as well.
So
So
there's a
this,
certain time frame that people
yeah,
visit Mecca, is it? Okay.
yeah, and
Okay.
it changes every year.
Right.
So Eid is never kind of like on the same date.
Yeah. So a bit
Um,
like Easter in that sense, that moves around a bit as well, doesn't it?
yeah. So yes, it's all very it's dependent on the moon for both
Right.
Eids.
Right.
So I've had it in previous jobs where you can't have the day off because you can't tell them when Eid is. So
Right.
they were like, but you have to tell us in advance. And it's a bit like, but I don't know when Eid is going to be. It's not
Right.
like Christmas, unfortunately. It's not the same
Yeah.
day every year. I can't book my annual leave 2 weeks in advance.
So how long in advance do you know when Eid is, out of interest?
So it's usually Saudi Arabia will announce it the day before. So we found out yesterday the Eid is
Oh,
today.
oh, literally, sort of, it's sort of that sort of little notice, as it were.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
very, very little notice. And um sometimes you have like
Mm.
an inkling. So we knew like Ramadan was coming to an end. So we were like, oh, will Eid be on Friday or Saturday? So you
Right.
think it will roughly be around these days, but you don't know
Yeah.
until it's been announced when it would be.
Right.
Um,
Right. And you were also talking, you were just sort of talking before the video as well about, that you'd got a lot of meetings scheduled today. So although it would be your preference to have the day off for Eid, that isn't actually possible for you.
no, just because I've
Yeah.
already pre-booked things weeks in
Yeah.
advance, but
Yeah.
work just makes it a
Yeah.
little bit harder, I guess, in
Yeah.
that sense to reschedule, which I know I could reschedule. And it'd be very understanding, and work would be very understanding. But I guess it's a bit difficult when it's the day before, literally the day
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
morning of to cancel.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that's some of my stuff of not wanting to let people down to cancel.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I would be celebrating this afternoon and this evening then with family.
Yes.
And I saw family before I left the house this morning. So
Yeah. So do you feel you're missing out a bit?
um a little bit, but there'll
Mm.
be other times when Eid is probably falls on days when I can take those days off, so or weekends, so that's okay, and it's sometimes fallen when I've been on annual leave, so that's been okay.
Yeah. 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 Okay.